She's got a bad one. She's got a bad one.
Yeah, if you want to hear it.
Sure, we do.
Okay, so this is, let's see, I was 15, and the same girl that gave me the haunted porcelain doll, her and I were playing the Ouija board, and it was December 11th of 1999, because my birthday's the 12th of December, and her birthday's the 10th, so we were celebrating the day in between. So December 11th, 1999, we were playing the Ouija board, and her mom came out and said, "Oh, if this thing's really real, ask it how much longer I have to live," and laughed. Her mom was healthy, everything was fine. It spelled out 3 months. Well, we're like, yeah, right, yeah, right. Well, March 8th of 2000, 3 days short of 3 months, her mom passed away, and they could not find a reason why.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. So that
Wow.
was very scary.
So anybody that practices or uses the Ouija board, I'm gonna tell you now, that is probably one of the worst things you can do.
Yeah.
And I've never understood it. You have to be 21 years old to purchase alcohol, but you have to be 8 years old to summon a demon.
Right. Well, I agree, but I mean, I don't disagree. I think it's according on how you use it.
Yeah.
If you know what you're doing and do it the proper way. But
Yeah,
I agree with the children that go get it that have no clue what they're doing, and their world is disrupted.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't. And I'd prefer my team. You know, that's one thing on an investigation that I don't. I would prefer them not use.
Right.
You know, on there. You know, because there's way better ways of spirit communication than using a Ouija board, because you may think you're talking to somebody, but you're opening up a portal for other things to be able to come through, and I just don't.
It works for some people, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yep.
But I mean, if you know how to use it properly and you're using it for the right reasons, then that's on you.
Right.
But I never knew that you were supposed to close out the Ouija board, so I did not use it right at all. So I believe that Ouija board, because we asked and because it spelled out 3 months, I believe that was the reason it caused it.
Because she opened it up.
Yeah.
She opened it up and didn't close it out with a question.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Shawnee, do you have any haunted objects?
No, I don't know. No.
Are you gonna keep it that way, or are you wanting anything?
I do want some, but I don't know. I'm in between whether to or not.
Shawnee, tell them about your bathtub incident.
Oh, okay. Well, I went on an investigation to. It was called the Demon School, and apparently a bloke was murdered in the bathtub. So I got inside the bathtub. There was K2s around me. There was one in my hand. Load of cat balls around. Everything was flashing and going off. My hands started shaking, and I felt really sick. And then apparently I just went completely white, and I was just blanked out for about 10 minutes. And then I got out, and I was like, "What happened?"
Wow.
It was crazy. But every time I got back in the bath, because I kept going back into it, I kept shaking, and you get a really sick feeling in your stomach. It was not nice.
Well, Shawnee just found out. Shawnee just found out that she is possibly medium material. So she just found this out. So she's going to be getting work with about that, because she's a kind of person that takes on emotions. So when you're on an investigation, you know, of course, she gets in the bathtub, and then the emotions around her, and then the emotions of what happened in that bathtub, it probably everything all hit her at one time, and she's having to carry that and not even know what to do with it.
Right. Is that like an empath, you think?
Yeah. She is definitely empathic.
It was like It was like the other day I went to a morgue. All I did was I touched the wall, and then I removed my hand quickly, because what I saw was a girl with long black hair, which was wet, in a netty white dress with blood from the left to the right, and I had the feeling that she was raped. And yeah.
So that's what you're doing. Yeah, you're opening up your mediumship. Exactly.
Psychometry too.
Yeah.
And that's kind of overwhelming when it first opens up for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's very overwhelming.
But she's getting work with it now, though. So I mean, we have some really solid mediums on our team, and I only allow a few. I have 3 total on both. I have 3 mediums, and we don't allow like mediums just to come in and try to do readings and stuff like that.
Right.
Because we have 3 really good ones. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
On My Mind podcast wants to know, what do y'all carry for personal protection? I have a rosary that was blessed by the Pope John Paul, holy water, and my grandfather's soldier's Bible that he carried in World War II.
Okay. All right. Well, when I go in, I'm a demonologist, so of course I have a rosary. I have holy water from the Jordan River where Jesus was baptized. I use frankincense and myrrh. I use holy oil, holy water, of course, a Bible, but a lot of the Bible that I use, because I've studied for 25 years, is in my head. So
Right.
I'm able to quote scriptures and quote the Bible out as I'm cleansing. So it really works. It really works for me. And as far as open protection every day, we carry black obsidian. I've got protection bracelets.
Yeah,
You know,
we both got chakra.
with tanzanite,
Yeah,
tiger's eye.
same one.
Yep. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, I've got
we got our forms of protection.
My black obsidian stays. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, there we go. It stays in my pocket 24 hours a day.
That's pretty.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I've got. And
Nice.
bracelets and
Yeah. Shawnee's got some real nice ones too. But yeah, that's what we use for protection. I mean, and like I said, I have magicians too that they use something totally different. They use magic, and so they'll go to an area and they'll bury black salt on the 4 corners of their property.
Right.
I mean, that I don't do that. I won't use that because my way I know works for me, but their way they know works for them. So I don't discredit them for doing that. I actually invite them to do that
Yeah.
because
Right.
we want everybody to be themselves, and we want people to know that we value and respect you just the way that you are.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, because essentially it's your intentions. It's what you believe in that is going to help you the most anyway, right?
Mhm.
Hey, Laura G.
Zach Bacon lost in an instant garden home. There's a demon there.
Right.
Because of what?
Talking about Zach Bagans, about how you can just walk into a.
Oh, everything's a demon. If he's not getting activity, oh, it's a demon, or I'm possessed, or I'm possessed. Yep. I know, guys. I know several of the owners or a lot of these properties, like Waverly, Sally House, Haunted Hill House, Conjuring, Haunted Hill House, Hinsdale. I know all those owners, and every single one of them have told me they will not have Zach Bagans back on their property.
Right.
So, I mean, but he's done it to himself. He's
That's right.
Up and then they just walk off.
yeah.
Right.
Yep.
How do y'all ground yourselves?
What do you mean? Well, as a demonologist, I ground myself. I have stones, but I use a lot of prayer.
Yeah.
I use a lot of grounding with prayer.
Yep.
Before I go into a dark entity where I know is a dark entity, I'll spend a week before, praying, to get myself grounded in the right way before I go in, because I don't want that to be able to use anything against me.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't do that, but that's where people end up getting hurt. That's where you go in and you think that you got this under control, and then you lose complete control because you're not grounded.
And use
So
everything negative in your life against you.
And so being grounded is 100% necessary. And I mean, like the way that the magician uses grounding is different than mine. I believe in stones. I believe in black salt. I think you should use that. Tar water. I believe in that. That's another form of like really jacked up holy water. Um, but there's many different forms of grounding, and it just depends on like your intentions and your beliefs, and what works for you in the grounding is what's going to work for you initially.
Right. Where are you, Shawnee?
Shawnee, how do you ground yourself?
Similar to you, really. Before I go into my investigation, obviously I have my stones and I do a prayer, and then when I come out, I do the same.
Yeah.
Prayer at the end.
Yeah. Yep.
Lisa says there's always someone in our groups that work overnight as well.
Yeah.
There's always someone awake in the group at all hours of the night. You can reach at least one of them.
If you click on our chat, I don't care what time it is, somebody will be on there to talk to you.
Yep.
Right.
Definitely.
There's usually someone posting in the group on Facebook, and we're all there for each other.
We are.
As it should be.
We want to be the difference that we want to see.
Yeah.
We truly want to be the difference.
Yep.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed being in y'all's groups. I've really enjoyed both of y'all's groups. So
Thank you.
Megan also says, "Nope, hell no, feet stay inside."
What'd you say?
The blanket.
Oh, yeah.
Stay inside.
Yeah.
Of
course.
Lisa says, "I believe the legend comes from Germany with your feet out of the covers while sleeping." I would need to look it up again, though.
Oh.
That's probably right. That's probably right, though.
Monsters take feet first.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think they put it under our bed because our mattress is on the floor.
That's why I said that space underneath the bed. That's a dangerous place to be at 3:00 in the morning.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. You don't.
My fear is my hands. My hands has got to be under the cover, and I can't stand my hands to be out for some reason. It's like something's gonna reach out and grab my hand. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's kind of like the feet, though. Some people are like that with their feet too.
Yeah. I'm that way with my hands.
Pete, I did. I'll take the Ouija board. Have you ever had anything that spooked y'all?
Yeah. I've definitely had things that spook me. I was in a church. During service, and a guy was demon possessed in the church.
Oh, wow.
That's a scary thing. His eyes turned completely black. They shot back in the back of their head. He was speaking in another tongue. I mean, it's scary. And another thing that happened to me was a knock came to my door at like 2:30 in the morning, and I looked out the window, and there was a kid standing there, and the kid looked up in the window like this, eyes jet black. Oh, no. I'm not opening that door.
No. Nope.
No.
I don't mess with black-eyed kids.
No.
Mm-mm.
Absolutely not.
No.
How was the demon able to walk into a church with it being holy land, sacred land, etc.?
Well, you guys remember Lucifer was an angel. He was cast out of heaven. Because he thought he can sit on God's throne. So there's spots all through the Bible that even say that Satan still walks with the angels. So his idea is that if he can come in and infiltrate the church, then he can tear the church from the inside out. And if you tear the church, which is supposed to be a holy and sanctified building, and if he can tear that up, how much easier would he be able to tear up the people in the world too?
Right.
Oh, wow. Lisa says, many vessels I have may or may not have a story or name. I had people just reach out to me and send what they have to me. I also will work with haunted caregivers by video to see what the best outcome will be.
She does.
Yeah.
She does. She does.
Yeah, if I ever got a hold of something I couldn't handle, I'd definitely send it to Lisa.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Go.
I definitely trust Lisa 100% with all that.
Right.
What if you use it for a dinner tray?
What, the Ouija board?
Yeah, I think the Ouija board is what they meant.
Yeah, if your fork starts moving around the plate counterclockwise, I think I'm getting rid of that quick.
Exactly. Ouija boards need to be protected and used correctly, and also there is no promises that something will not come through.
Exactly. That's the whole point behind it. There are no promises with a Ouija board, and that's the problem with it. Is because you may think that you're communicating with something, and then it could be something totally different. And then by the time you believe that that thing that you're talking to is coming in, it's already infiltrated your space.
But wouldn't that be the same with spirit boxes?
No. I've heard that same thing, but when you're going, I mean, you got to think spirit communication works on many different levels,
Right.
but at least with a spirit box, you can hear what's coming out and you can get a feel of what's there. With a Ouija board, you can't because a trickster spirit will come in and manipulate through a Ouija board and have you thinking one way, and then all of a sudden your whole house is turning into something different. And with a spirit box, we can use the spirit box, and and then when we get done with it, we say, you are not allowed to follow us. You put your intention out there of what it can and cannot do, and then we go from there. But remember, we're always protected too. So
Right.
That's the problem. Ignorant people try to use it. Yeah. So true.
Mm-hmm.
Shawnee will learn to place boundaries between her and the spirit world so they don't take her over.
That's right.
Hey, Laura.
Hey.
Hello.
Protection should be made on what works for you and also what you're protecting yourself from.
That's true.
Yep.
Very true.
Yep. Very true.
The second you're not protecting it, they just need that quick little sliver to get inside.
That's right.
That's it.
Yeah, that's black magic is worse than a board.
Yep.
I've heard that he is very difficult.
You heard what?
She was talking about Zach Bacon.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, he's rude not only to the people that he's investigating, but his own team too.
Right.
So I mean, yeah. I'm not going to get into that too much because I've got my own beliefs behind that. But
yeah, we'll be here all night for that one.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Other thing to know is grounding can take longer than a few hours, especially preparing for an investigation.
Yep.
Like I said, before I go into a house with a client, I'll pray and do everything for at least a week before I go in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your actual take on a Ouija board? Is if somebody learns how to do it and there was somebody they trust to go ahead and use it, or would you say just stay away from it completely? Or
my deal, because I am licensed and ordained. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with using it. I just think it's more trouble than anything. But if you are able to use it and you do have good outcomes from it, then maybe it's built for you, but it's not built for me.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and I'll
To
never,
each their own, right?
right. And I'll never down anybody for what they use. I'll never, because, it may work totally different for you, but I know how it worked for me. My wife knows how it worked for her. And we just know, like,
Yeah.
if you eat bad food one time, your chances of eating that food again are slim to none.
Right.
So if you
Yeah.
have a bad experience with it, you're probably not going to do the same thing that gave you that bad experience, right?
Right.
Mm.
How long have y'all been investigating?
We've been in the paranormal our almost entire life.
I mean, him and I have been together. We've been together almost 15 years, and the entire time we've been together, we've always had a passion for the paranormal.
Yeah. And I've always had a passion for helping people. And that's why when I became licensed ordained, I was a preacher for 3 years. But my calling is what I really specialize in, which is spiritual warfare. And I found myself preaching on that quite a bit. And the problem is I see churches today that will preach on spiritual warfare, but won't do anything about it.
Right.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to step into the veil, and I'm going to stand right there at the veil. And I had a dream one night of a white picket fence in a field, and I was walking down that white picket fence, and I looked over the fence, and there was the devil and all his demons. And on the side of the fence I was on was God and all his angels. And I looked over at the devil, and I said, "You see, I'm over here on God's side." And he laughed at me. And he says, "But I own the fence, right?"
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's too many proclaiming Christians out there that walk that fence, that straddle that line, and then they wonder when things happen to them. I want to be that person that can identify what's going on with them, and I don't straddle the line. I'm all for my belief, but
Yeah.
I'm here to be a superhero for God's army.
Wow. And what about you, Shawnee? How long have you been investigating?
Well, my uncle, I started with my uncle about, oh God, he's been doing it 15 years, so about 10 years ago, I used to go out with him and stuff. But it was only the beginning of this year I set up my page, in February, March time. I used to go out with him a little bit, but now I'll go out like 2-3 times a week. Well, I try to.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. How many black eyed kids have you seen?
I've seen one.
One.
One and one's enough, right?
Yep.
One too many.
Believe it or not, you're not
One's
going to
enough.
find a lot of people. You're not going to find a lot of people that have actually seen black-eyed kids. But
Right.
when they do, it's usually inside of a location, and you'll see a kid with black eyes there that appears and then disappears. But I physically saw a real child, 360 degrees, with long hair, with black eyes.
Tomorrow.
Wow.
Wow.
Tomorrow from the ring.
Yeah, Samara from The Ring. Yeah. Yeah. You can keep that ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Shane.
Yes, but you're opening up a portal anyway.
For what?
Not sure. I think that was a reference for the Ouija board, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, you are opening up a portal for sure.
I believe they work the same way, but that's just me.
Okay.
See, Anthony says, I don't agree with that. You can't tell me you know who you're talking to without a doubt just because you use a box.
Yeah, you never know who you're talking to.
Right. I never said that we know who we're talking to. We can just identify. We can't identify exactly who we're talking to, but we can identify what kind of entity we're talking to.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'll be right back.
And he goes, but you make it seem like it's stupid for people that do know how to use it bad. To use bad. How to use bad. Yeah. Sorry.
What?
You made it seem like it's stupid for people that do know how to use sound bad, I guess.
What? I mean, like, use what?
The Ouija board, I'm thinking.
Oh, like I told you, I don't look. If it works for you, then it works for you. It just doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for my wife. But I would never say somebody do not use this because it's this. I would never do that. So if it works for you, then it works for you. So I mean, please, by all means, if it works, it works. But it doesn't work for everybody. And it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work with my wife. And it doesn't work with most people on our team. But that doesn't mean that it won't work for you.
If you use it right and you can communicate with who you're trying to attend to, or the ones that come through that you don't know who you're, if it works for you and you're able to help cross over a spirit or something like that, and you use it the right way, then it could work wonders.
Right.
We never know. We never said it was stupid to use it or anything like that. No, absolutely not. Whoever wants to use it, if you use it right.
Yeah, we would never tell somebody that they're wrong for using it. I mean, look, I have magicians on my team. I have people that practice magic on my team.
Yep.
So, I don't use what they use either, but I don't disagree with them because it works for them. If it works for you, more power to you.
Yeah.
He's also say, that when people who talk to the dead are necromancers, so how can you do both?
What?
Then that people who talk to the dead are necromancer. So how can you do both?
Do both what? Because
let me see if you
a lot of people that I talk to, a lot of people they don't even know that they're dead.
No.
Besides talking to the Ouija boards, what is everyone's take on scrying?
It's pretty well, I mean, I've seen it work two ways. I've seen it work a lot of ways, and I know a lot of mediums that do scryings that it actually scares them. But like I said, I've heard it the other way too. I've heard it to where they've gotten in a closet, they've had the mirror, they have the candle, and they actually have something positive come out of it. But like I said, I think it depends on what you expect, your intentions, and how you're able to use the scrying.
Right. What about you, Shawnee? What's your take on scrying?
I don't do it myself personally. I know people who do it, but it's just not for me. That.
How do you close off a mirror if you would need to do that?
Close off a mirror? A mirrors are usually portals, or somewhat they can be used as portals. I close them off with frankincense and myrrh and holy water because I seal off the portal. I seal off all entryways, doorways, and portals. So, and I shut them out then. But if a mirror is in a room, like before I get there, I usually get them to cover the mirror. Because if it's a portal and it's going in and out, it's not going to stop everything, but it'll most likely stop the activity of coming in and out.
Right.
Yeah.
Another when you walk into a house and say they're having issues and there's two mirrors facing each other, does that always a portal then, or does it just depend on the person or the house? Or
well, that's kind of the whole catch-52 there, because they believe that if two mirrors are facing each other, then it can be a portal. But you got, I mean, I've seen people in a house where their mirrors are facing like that, and they don't have not one bit of activity.
Right.
But if a place does have activity and you've got two mirrors there, you have an entry and exit point right there. That mirror will be a portal for that. And if you want to check and see if you got a portal in your house, um, what do you call it?
What?
The
Pendulum?
that pendulum. If you take a pendulum and stick it in between the two mirrors, and if the pendulum moves back and forth, that's an active portal in between those mirrors.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yep.
Me either. That's cool.
Hey,
I'm gonna have to try it.
That's cool.
Hello.
A definition is a statement of the
Look.
meaning of a term. Definition.
I just set off my phone.
That happens to us a lot.
I wondered what that was then.
Everything. Let's see.
Maybe somebody was trying to tell you something, Kimmy. You should
Right.
listen to
seriously.
it.
You can use symbols to close out portals and cover the mirrors.
Yeah. Like I said, I've got a variety of people. I've got from chaotic magicians to psychics to Wiccas to then you got me. I'm a demonologist. I'm a paranormalist. My wife is a paranormalist. But we have just a variety of people on there. But we all complement each other because we all respect each other and we respect what we do because it works for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Lisa said, it's a question for the panel tonight. I'm aware how to close them off, and you should never close off an exit mirror, only an entrance mirror.
That's right.
So how do you
That's
know
right.
which entrance and which one's an exit?
Well, because you can definitely see, like with me, for instance, I get visions and I have premonitions, so I can see energies. So if I'm looking at a mirror and I can see the energy coming through, then you can know that's an entry point coming in. And then if you see energy that's going into the mirror, that's an exit point. So that's just how I'm able to see it. But it is pretty difficult to see, but that's why I would say that to be able to identify, which one is an entryway and which one is an exit, because she's right. You don't want to close out, the exit, because if there is something in your house, then you want them to have a way to, when you close it out, to get out.
Right.
Yeah.
We had a resident case where his dialysis nurse actually she had a mirror that was causing a whole lot of chaos.
Yeah.
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 Let's see, but they're dead. And he says when they're dead, and God says if you communicate with the dead, they're to be put to death. So how can you do Bible and paranormal?
Well, you got to think about something. I can very well, because this is a calling for me. And the book of Thessalonians, it says that the dead in Christ will rise first. Where are they rising from? So I believe there is, when you pass from here, until Jesus comes back, we're still here. Our bodies may be in the ground, but we're still here.
Right.
No one ever knows exactly what happens or how it goes. We're
Right.
just here to help.
And I am a Christian. I do believe that. And I grew up in the church, and they'll tell you that, when you die, you go to heaven and everything, but that's literally not even biblical.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys. My computer's really lagging today. I don't know why.
Uh-oh.
It's just in and out.
Yeah, kind of.
Let's see.
Moving.
Get started in church.
Someone from my
Sorry,
gift.
I just started in church.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. You try being a preacher and, have heavy premonitions and visions and stuff like that. And I've had them my entire life. But if you try to tell people in a church that, they'll say that you're demonic or you have a demonic attachment or something to you. And that's where the church has it all wrong. And they don't approach the paranormal the same way that I do.
Yeah, we were
Right.
using a spirit box not too long ago, and we got someone to come through. His name was Johnny Mercer, and he came through, and we closed out the session and everything. The next night, we were doing it again, and he came back through. He wouldn't talk to me, but he would talk to Shane. And
Wow.
by the end of the night, it was like an hour later, Shane ended up finding out that he was lost. He didn't know he was dead, and he helped him cross over to the other side.
Because he felt like he wasn't deserving
He
to
wasn't
leave.
worthy, he said.
Aw.
Yeah, so that's a big part of his gift is he's able to help spirits cross over.
Right. I agree. Well, y'all, we've been over an hour. Tell
That's
us again
awesome.
how to find you.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Hmm.
We
Yes.
appreciate you guys having us on.
Thank you very much.
You're
Well, we
welcome.
thank
Yeah, thank you.
we thank you for joining us.
You can see that?
Kind of.
He says, God's word is God's word, not what we interpret to make it fit what we do.
Well, there's always going to be somebody that's going to disagree, but we believe what we believe, and
Right.
what works for you might not work for us, and the way you interpret something may not be the way it really is, or
Right.
you might be misunderstanding what we're saying or things like that.
Yeah, and I've studied the Bible. I've studied the Word of God for 25 years. I went to Bible college. So I mean, I've got a good understanding, and I don't know everything behind it, but I know what works for me in my life
Right.
and my family's life.
We'll never tell somebody that they're wrong for what
Right.
they believe or that they're doing it wrong or anything like that. We'll never say, well, this is what it says. We'll never do that,
No.
because nobody for sure knows what goes on after this life, and nobody for sure knows what God's plan is for anybody. So we just follow the gift that God has given us.
Right.
Amen to that.
That's all you can do.
That's it.
Right. So people will disagree all day long, but you know what? It's okay.
We're human.
That's right.
We're
That's only-
human.
Yep.
You have to be different, be a different. You know what I mean? Because the life would be so boring if everybody was the same. you
If
know?
everybody agreed
Right.
with everything, you're right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's some people that want to try to start arguments, but there's some people that are genuinely questioning. So I don't know. We're all different. We all have different beliefs, and we all look at things differently.
Right. And that's a big thing about paraunity.
Yeah.
That's a big thing about paraunity, is because, you shouldn't be so centered on what somebody else believes, because you don't believe that, then that's enough for you not to be able to associate with that person.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
then you'll never get through life like that.
We love everybody. We respect everybody's beliefs, and we just hope that other people respect ours. That's all.
Right.
That's
Right.
right.
It's all about free will too. You know.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's it.
The same people disagree.
Let's see.
Yeah, she's still trying to catch up comments.
I know.
I got you.
People say that a Christmas card is the up, and that started as a witch thing.
What is it?
The same people disagreeing out on a Christmas card is the up, and that started as a witch thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There's always going to be somebody that's not going to agree with you, or that's going to question the way you feel or the way you do things. But ultimately, in the end, we're all going to end up in the same place, in the ground, and only God knows where we go from there and
Yep.
what to do from there.
Exactly.
You're right.
We're not here to judge anybody.
No, at all.
I still gotta do it.
We believe in building each other up. We
Yeah.
believe that's what our whole team is for.
Yep.
Guys, if you check us out online, you can go on. If you've got a team, you can come on and you can post your events, post your team
Yeah.
on our page. We're very open to that. We believe in you. We just want you to believe in us and know that we're here for
Yep.
you, in hopes that you'll be there for us too.
Yep.
Right.
We're
That's
never
right.
here to disagree. We're never here to tell you you're wrong or what you believe. That's not how it should be. We'll never be like that ever.
Right.
That's right.
You want to let
Martin's
everybody
very
know
tight.
and find y'all's paranormal pages and your organization, I guess.
Yep. Outer Rims Paranormal. Outer Rims Paranormal UK division.
Outer Realm.
Right. And you
Outer
can be
Rims
found on
Paranormal, y'all.
Facebook.
Yep, on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Outer Realm
Yep.
Paranormal, all one word. Oh, well, no,
Paranormal.
not all one word. Two words.
I'm sorry.
Outer Realm Paranormal is one word. But Outer Realms
Yeah.
Paranormal on Facebook.
And Outer Rims Paranormal UK division, and that's Shawnee's.
Yep. I was trying to say
Cool.
the email.
And Shawnee, you also have what, Dark Soul Paranormal, correct?
Yeah, Dark Soul Paranormal, yeah.
That's her background there.
That's a cool background.
Is
That
that
is
a
really
background?
cool.
Yes, I like it.
It looks like her hands are
That's
reaching
going
through
on
the
my
face.
shirt.
Yeah.
That background's going on my team shirt tomorrow.
That's awesome.
That is
It
awesome.
I'm doing
is.
my shirt.
Do you have any events coming up that y'all would like to put out there or anything like that?
Shawnee, you got something?
Well, I've got an investigation tomorrow night, an investigation Thursday, and an investigation Saturday.
Wow, busy.
And then I've got and then
And-
I've got East Drive, and the House that Cries as well, and what's it called? Oh,
It's like a documentary.
the Railway
isn't it?
Cottage.
Somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with us, you know, I've got clients that I'm working with, and you know, I've got a guy he's a famous YouTuber. He's a friend of mine, and he sends me cases because he's in the UK, and he sends me cases over here in the US. So
Cool.
I get cases from him, and I'm working a few of those now. And outside around here in South Carolina, you know, we're in Civil War City right here. So, you know, it's hard to get into places around, but we do have places that you can go and investigate openly around here, which is always fun to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, it would be.
I've got
It's a
that
little
private
harder
client
here
as
in
well.
the South, you know what I mean? Being a Bible Belt and stuff, it's a little bit harder to get.
Oh
It is.
yeah.
It is. And especially with people, because like that's the one thing is like they don't want to admit that they have activity in their house because they think something's wrong with them.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and
Right.
that's not necessarily the case. I mean, a lot of times it is, but a lot of times it's not either.
Exactly.
And my goal is to enlighten them, to tell them that not all hauntings are demonic. You know, and I wish people would just get that and get that demonic thing out of their head, because there has to be specifications for demonic activity. There has to be certain things that need to happen with demonic activity. And you know, if you got a poltergeist spirit or something like that, or a trickster spirit in your house is slamming cabinets, I mean,
Exactly.
you know, I'm gonna tell you now, if you got a coffee cup get knocked over in your house and you say, "Oh, that's demonic," a big bad demon's gonna knock over a coffee cup.
Exactly.
No, I don't think so.
Exactly.
Mm-mm.
You're thinking about it, you're manifesting it yourself, doing it to yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna step out because Shane can continue talking. I got some hungry cats I gotta feed and 2 hungry
Well,
dogs.
we're gonna go ahead and call it a night anyway. So, but thank you
Okay.
so much for joining us, and it was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet y'all. Thank you so
Thank you for
much.
having us.
It was a
Backstage,
pleasure.
end
Yeah,
it, and I can just hit like save.
All right.
What?
Thank
Kimmy,
you
you broke
guys.
up.
Thank you
Thank
guys for
you.
having us.
Thank
thank
you.
Coming
Thank
on
you.
It
with
was
us.
yes. Nice to meet you.
Thank you,
Nice to
everybody.
meet you guys too.
And Joe.